everyone, my name is Katia and today I'm going to show you how to crochet the slippers. It's actually a very easy pattern. First we work on a rectangle using single crochets, and then I'll show you how to crochet this flower and how to glue it on. And you'll have yourself a pair of cute slippers. For this project you're going to need a variety of number 4 medium weight yarn to crochet the slipper and for the flower. You're also going to need 2 hook sizes, 5mm crochet hook for the slipper, and you're also going to need a 4.5mm crochet hook size for the flower. And also you're going to need your tapestry needle, scissors, some sort of pins to pin down the flower, and a hot glue. Using our 5mm crochet hook and a number 4 medium weight yarn, go ahead and start with the slip knot. I'm going to chain 33 to make medium size slippers. If you need to adjust the size, go ahead and measure out the bottom of your foot and make the chain according to that measurement. So for me, I'm going to continue and chain 33, and I'll be back with you to show you what to do next. Once you have your foundation chain all finished, what we're going to do next is into the second chain from the hook, we're going to work single crochet. Don't count this one, start here, so here's 1 and 2. Into this chain, we're going to work a single crochet, but I'm going to do it on the back loops. So pick up the back loop of the chain, right over here, and work 1 single crochet. Again, pick up the back loop and work your single crochet. Now, if you're having a hard time with the back loops, you can just work your single crochets using the front of the chain and not the back loops. So it's up to you here. Both ways will work. I'm going to continue and work my single crochets across the chain, and I'll meet back with you once I'm finished with this row 1. Here I have 1 chain left. I'm going to go ahead and work the last single crochet into that chain. At the end of row 1, you should have 32 single crochets if you're working on the same size as I am. Let's go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work for row 2. We're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch across. So I just worked 1 single crochet into the very first stitch, and I'm going to continue and repeat and work 1 single crochet into the remaining of the stitches. And at the end of this row, you should have 32 single crochets. So continue working on row 2, and I'll meet you at the end of row 2 to show you what to do next. Now for row 3 all the way to row 33 is just a repeat of row 2. So we're going to chain, turn our work, and work 1 single crochet into each stitch across. Now here, all you want to do is work on your rows. For medium size, it's 33 rows total. If you need to adjust the size, all you want to do is work on your rows long enough for your rectangle to wrap around your foot all the way to the front. So here I'm just going to work on row 3 all the way to row 33, and I'll meet back with you to show you what to do next. Here I worked on my rectangle and I did a total of 33 rows. To end row 33, all we're going to do is just chain 1 and cut our yarn long enough to sew the 2 sides together right over here. Now my rectangle is measuring about 7 inches wide. You want it to be wide enough to come around and cover the front of your foot like this so it doesn't fall off. I'm going to quickly work on this yarn tail so it's out of the way. And to do that, all I'm going to do is use the back loops of any of the single crochets from row 1. Just insert my needle using those stitches. Go through and then come right back, same way we started. Do the same thing. Now if your yarn tail is short enough, just go ahead and put it back into the needle hole and pull through. And one more time, I'm just going to use back loops of any of the single crochets and pull through. I'm going to go ahead and cut this later. Let's go ahead and sew the back. So go ahead and fold your work in half And using our tapestry needle and the yarn tail, we're going to whip stitch the two sides together. And to do that, just go ahead and insert your needle using one loop from each side. So here's one loop of the stitch, and then I'm going to pick up the next loop of the other stitch and sew them together. Come around, use only one loop from each stitch and whip stitch it. And repeat. Pick up the back loops of each stitch and whip stitch. And like that, I'm just going to continue and whip stitch the two sides together all along the side until right over here, and I'll meet you here to show you what to do next. I finished stitching all along the side. Go ahead and pull on your yarn just a little bit. It'll tighten the edge right over here. You don't want to leave it pointy. I like to keep it a little bit rounded so it's not too pointy. And now all we're going to do is insert our needle using one stitch. It doesn't matter which one. Bring up a loop. Using this loop right here, insert your needle into that loop and pull through, and it'll tighten the stitches. Now let's go ahead and weave in the yarn tail. Let's go ahead and cut this yarn tail. Here our back is finished. Now let's go ahead and work on the front. Go ahead and cut a piece of yarn about 12 to 15 inches long and insert your needle using that yarn piece. Now what we need to do is we need to cinch the front together. So here we folded it in half, but here in the front we're going to fold it where the two ends are going to come and meet in the middle, like so. Now here what we need to do is work a running stitch, and we're going to cinch this all together and pull on the strings to tighten it like this. So let's go ahead and start with one end and insert your needle using, again, just one loop. Pull through, leave a tail, and now just come to the next row and pick up back loop of one stitch, and like that continue working on your running stitch. So just remember, try to pick up only one loop because it is quite bulky, so we're trying to eliminate that bulk in the front. Here I just finished and I came to the end, and what we're going to do is pulling on this yarn tails. Make sure you hold on to this one so it doesn't come out. Next thing what we need to do is tie the two yarn tails together. Try to make it as tight as you can, and I like to work on 3 knots, but you choose. So here we finished working on this, and all I'm going to do is using one of this yarn tails and my needle, I'm going to add a couple of stitches to close this hole right over here. Once that's done, what we're going to do is come along this side to the front and add a couple of stitches closing this side together. You don't want to close it too much. You want to leave a little bit open so your foot can go in. I'm just going to use the stitches and work on a whipping stitch. You can pick up both loops or one loop. It doesn't matter. It's up to you here how you want to work on this side. Go ahead and try it on before you fasten off, and once you're happy, all we're going to do is we're going to close it by bringing up a loop, inserting our needle into the loop and pull through to tighten it, and just go ahead and weave in your yarn tails. Go ahead and turn your slipper right side out. To work on the flower, we're using number 4 medium weight yarn with a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Let's go ahead and start with the magic ring. Hold on to your yarn tail with your thumb, wrap your yarn around your 2 fingers, crisscross it in the front, hold on to your working yarn with your ring finger, insert your hook underneath the first circle, using the second circle, bring out a loop, twist it. Go ahead and chain 1 using the working yarn. Into this magic ring, we're going to work 5 single crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull on this yarn tail, tighten the center. For round 2, we're just going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch around. So go ahead and insert your hook into the first stitch and work 1 single crochet, and work 1 more single crochet into that same stitch. And repeat, you're going to work 2 single crochets into the next stitch. And like that, continue working until the end. You should have 10 single crochets. And fasten off. Here we worked on the center of the flower. Let's go ahead and work on the petals. Here I have my second color, and I'm going to start by inserting my hook using any of the single crochets. Wrap the new color around and pull through. Now we need to chain 6. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Using the second chain from the hook, let's go ahead and work on 1/2 double crochet. And continue working half double crochets all across the chain. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch back into that same stitch. And I'm going to work my yarn tails in. Into the next stitch, let's slip stitch. And we're going to repeat. So chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the second chain from the hook. So here's 1, 2. Go ahead and work 1/2 double crochet and continue working your half double crochets across the chain. 3, 4, and 5. Now slip stitch into that same stitch and repeat. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and work your half double crochets along the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And slip stitch back into that same stitch. So continue working like this. At the end you should have 10 petals, and I'll meet you right over here to show you how to finish this round. Here I finished working on 10 petals, and to end all we're going to do is slip stitch into the first single crochet, cut your yarn. Now we're not going to weave in the yarn tails because we are going to be gluing this flower in. So what you can do is just tie a loose knot at the back, and you can cut this yarn tails. Like so. Here our flower is finished. Now we need to attach this flower using our slipper. And what I like to do is try it on, see how it lays on your foot, And then using your pins, you can pin it starting with these two coming along the side, and then arrange the rest of the petals and pin them down. And I'll show you what I mean. Here I already worked on one, and I started with these two petals coming on the outside of the opening, and then I just arranged the rest of the petals like so. And once you have that done, the last step is to just glue on the flower. And I'm going to be using hot glue. You can also sew your petals in place. It's up to you, but I'll show you how to glue them on. I'm just going to use hot glue and remove one of the pins and add hot glue right along the petal. Be careful, it is hot. And press it down. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do is remove the pin, add some hot glue, and press it down. And I'm just going to continue and glue the rest of the petals. And our slippers are all done. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.